Welcome to World of Movie. This video may spoil parts of the movie, The Town. The neighborhood of Charlestown. Boston is renowned for the high rate of bank robberies for the whole year. The four friends named Doug, Day, Jem and Groans, they are mastered in it. Doug is the mastermind behind all the plans of robbery. Doug guides all the other three friends about the plan and the strategy without failing before. The next robbery, when the guard enters the bank, to deliver the cash bags, they all take the chance to rush into the bank by pushing the guard on the floor and making the people in the bank staff hostages. Mobile phones, wallets and purses are taken from the people inside the bank. All four friends start looting the cash counters and emptying them completely. After looting the cash counters, they make manager, Claire Kesey, open the vault after taking all the money from the vault. They put all the security cameras, hard drives and other proofs in a microwave to destroy them all, leaving no clue of the operation. The thieves start to spread bleach to remove all the DNA proof and evidence. The manager, Claire Kesey, silently presses the alarm even with her leg lying down on the floor. When they noticed the alarm, they start beating up the assistant manager, believing it was him when they all move out from the bank. Claire Kesey notices the tattoo on the back of the neck when the thieves know that they are about to be surrounded by the police. Jim decided to take the manager Claire Kesey with them as a hostage. The blindfolds her and drops her far away from the bank at some strange place with a threat to kill her if she gives any information to FBI agents. This case of robbery is taken by a Frawley, the special agent of the FBI. After the investigation, Adam finds no clue and evidence regarding the case. Knowing the thieves must be professionals, his man also finds the burn fan which they used for a robbery the next day. Adam investigates Claire about the robbery, who tells him the little details of what she witnessed and also tells him about the tattoo mark she noticed. Meanwhile, all for disgust, the idea of making Claire a hostage, Jim arrives and gives them the bad news. He has Claire's ID card and he finds that she lives near them. They all fear that she will see them soon one day, so they decide to follow her. Doug agrees to do this as Jem has been already to jail once and he can't afford the second time. Doug and Jim go to their neighborhood to pay out all the pending payments to their gun dealer, car dealer, and Fergie, an Irish mobster who met in a flower shop. All for spend the money on drinking, gambling and having fun. With call girls, they are approached by Chris. Jem's sister is a single mother. She and Doug used to be together once and she says she misses him a lot, but Doug shows no interest in her and leaves the place. A few hours later, Chris enters Doug's house by using the old copy of the keys and shows her love to Doug. Doug continues to follow Claire and enters a laundry shop behind her, where he sees her crying holding a shirt with bloodstains on it. Doug decides to talk to her, to give her comfort and make her feel better later on. Doug takes her on a coffee, where they chat and become friends. Doug also lies to her that he works in the construction company. Then he takes her on a boat ride, as she starts enjoying Doug's company. She also asks him about all the bank robbers live in Charlestown. Doug says these all are exaggerated stories. The other day, Doug tells Jem about Claire that she is under his control and there is no need to kill her. After interrogating Frawley, gets the clue from a criminal contact who tells him that the thieves know how to work the box. Frawley knows this kind of knowledge can only be found in someone who worked in Veracom. So he investigates Veracom to get some clue and start working on the employee's record. Meanwhile, he meets with Claire at lunch to investigate her more. Claire and Doug get closer to each other and Doug make this hidden from his friends. Claire admits that she works for the FBI, which makes Doug curious to ask her more questions to her. She also tells him about the tattoo she saw, but is afraid of disclosing it to Frawley as she would have been killed by the thieves. Doug tells her not to disclose this and use this as a placard in the future. Claire tells him that some gang members tease her and throw bottles at her vehicle. After dropping her, Doug and Jim go to one of the gang members and beats him so bad. Jim, in the heat of the moment, shoot in the leg and shows his face to the gang member, which Doug ikes. Meanwhile, Frawley finds Dez's file is an employee of Veracom whose sick days match the dates of bank robberies. This allows Frawley to follow Day and get some more clues about the rest of the gang members. The other day, Doug and Claire meet outside at a restaurant where Jim sees them. Doug tells Jim about his relationship with Claire, which Jim finds not secure as Claire would send them to jail. Jim tells Doug to concentrate on their next plan of robbery, but Doug refuses to work with the gang members as he does not like them further. He says to Jem that this will be my last robbery. Afterward, he goes to his father in jail to talk to him about her mother and why he didn't do anything to find her. His father tells him that her mother didn't want to live with him. Friday comes, and they all prepare themselves for their next operation. Cleaning weapons with bleach and collecting other techniques to leave no evidence for the FBI. They follow the cash van to rob the cash out of it. During the operation, one of the guards tries to fight back and aims his gun at them, and the police are on their way to So, without wasting any time, they shoot the guard and run away from there. They drive fast to get to a safe place. And when they get trapped by police, they shoot 2 police officers, as well. They meet with their 4th number and change the car to misguide the police chasing them. Frawley gets no clues again about 4 of them, but he suspects and calls them all for investigation. Frawley, after the investigation, remains clueless. He decides to investigate Claire as he gets the telephonic conversation recording of her with Doug and goes to meet her at her place. Frawley finds a diamond necklace that Doug gifted her. Frawley tells her the truth about Doug, that he is a robber who involves bank robberies with his 4 gang members. Doug and Jem meet outside, where Doug tells Jem that he will not depart of these robberies. The argument heats up and Jem accuses Doug to rouge the life of his sister, Chris. Doug goes to meet Fergie to tell him about leaving the gang members in the job as well, where Fergie tells him the truth of his mother, that she never left, but died due to the overdose of drugs. Fergie threatens Doug, if he does not accept the job, he will harm Claire. Doug rushes to see Claire that she is fine. He finds Claire crying as she knows the truth about Doug. She throws Doug out of her home later on. Doug finds one of Fergie's thugs hangs a funeral wreath on Claire's door. Doug decides to continue the job as he is left with no other choice. Doug meets Claire outside and promises her that he will not hurt her again. He also accepts that he robbed many banks but he didn't hurt anyone. All 4 gang members gathered to hear Fergie's next plan of operation to rob Fenway Park. Frawley meets Chris at the bar, where he shows his FBI badge. Chris accepts the fact that she was together with Doug for many years. Chris gives Frawley a fake lead about them. The next day, Frawley along with his men followed the wrong track. Later on, Chris visits Doug's place and begs him to be together again, as she wants a new life, but Doug throws her out of his house. Chris, on the way back home, crashes her car and finds herself in the hospital. Frawley meets her in the hospital, where she asks for the protection of her and her kid in exchange for information about the robbery at Fenway Park. Meanwhile, Day disables the alarms and security cameras. They all disguise themselves in cops' uniforms, but are identified by the guards. They tell the guard to open the main room, otherwise they will kill their families outside. After looting the cash, they leave the place, but the whole area is cordoned off by the FBI. When they confront FBI agents, a shootout begins between them and Groans. He gets shot. They try to leave the place in the truck, but the FBI sends special agents who shoot down Day in the head. Blown in his severe condition, makes a plan to divert the attention of FBI agents onto him. Well, Doug and Jem change the cop costumes and run away from there. They use the ambulance to escape. But Glows, he gets shot in the head by a sniper. Somehow Doug and Jem manage to escape from there. But Frawley finds Jem walking down the street in a cop uniform with a bag. Jem opened fire at Frawley, but he shoots himself and commits suicide. As he was trapped by the FBI agents, Doug visits Fergie and kills him, along with his guards. Later on, Doug calls Claire. She is surrounded by FBI agents in her home, who are listening to the conversation. She asks Doug to meet at her place by telling him that she is alone. Doug knows the truth as he keeps an eye by binoculars on her from the apartment adjacent to her home. He still decides to go and meet Claire at the back door. Claire mentions sunny days as a clue to let him know about the situation. Hey, FBI agents wait with Claire for Doug, but he does not arrive. Doug hides the money in his garden and drops a note on Frawley's car. Go fuck yourself, and then he leaves the city on a train. After a few days, Claire finds the money in the garden with a note that Doug will meet her soon. Well, I hope you liked it, and if you do, please like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. Till another video, take care.